Hi guys, this is your first set of video notes for the Echinodermata unit. So this set of video notes is going to go over just the general characteristics of this phylum. So first of all, there's some things you need to know. Spiny skinned is the translation of Echinodermata, and there are approximately 7,000 species, and all of them are found in marine habitats and at all depths. There's some characteristics that all echinoderms share. First of all, they have a calcareous endoskeleton in the form of ossicles. Adults have something called Penta radial symmetry, which we'll get into later. The larvae, though, have bilateral symmetry. They have a water vascular system that's unique to them, which is used for locomotion, attachment, and/or feeding. They have a complete digestive tract and a hemosystem that is derived from the coelomic cavities. So the hemosystem helps with all those normal body cavity functions that we're used to. And then they also have a nervous system in the form of a nerve net, a nerve ring, and radial nerves. They do not have, though, a brain. So in terms of their evolution, they are actually thought to share a common ancestor with hemichordates and chordates. So that's the reason why we're doing echinoderms so late in the year with zoology in general, because they're more closely related to us than they are to other invertebrates that live in the ocean. There's a few things of evidence to prove this. So first of all, they have deuterostome development. Up until now, everything's had protostome development. In addition, they have bilateral symmetrical larval stages, and the extinct forms were not radial. So you may think, okay, they have 5 arms, there's no way, but extinct forms, like it says, were not radial. They were bilateral. So let's talk a little bit more about pentaradial symmetry. What this means is that the body parts are arranged in 5s. So you may see starfish with 5 arms, but you may also see them with 10. And that arrangement is around an oral-ab-oral axis. So that's why if you look at these pictures here, you see that the arms go out and that inside is that oral-ab-oral axis. They also have no distinct head region, and they're adapted to sedentary or slow-moving situations. They are not fast movers. And this allows their distribution of sensory organs to be a little bit better. If they were moving faster, they would not have the sensory that they do. In terms of their endoskeleton, so this symmetry is a result of the evolution of the endoskeleton. So they have series of ossicles, which are calcium carbonate plates that are along their arms, and these are frequently modified into the spines that project from the body surface. So if you look here, this is actually an X-ray picture of the endoskeleton. So as you'll see when we dissect, there's like a fleshy overcoating of it. It's not hard on the outside like the crayfish was. So let's talk a little bit more about the water vascular system. So first of all, like I had mentioned, it's unique to echinoderms, and it's a series of water-filled canals with extensions that are in the form of tube feet. So they originate as a modification of the coelom, and this ring canal surrounds the mouth. So the mouth is in the middle, and it opens to the outside through something called a stone canal, and the opening itself is the madreporite. Now, the 5 radial canals, or multiples of 5 if there's 10 arms or 15 arms, these branch from the ring canal, and there's usually 1 in each arm of most sea stars. So here's a closer look at that water vascular system. So you can see the ring canal is here. Okay, and then you show each of the radial canals go through the arms, and then the tube feet. You can see all the tube feet, and the stone canal and the madreporite are all located here and there. And that's how the water is going to move into the starfish. Now, these tube feet, like we've talked about, are extensions of the canal system, and they actually extend through the skeletal ossicles. So internally, they have like a little bulb, which is called an ampulla, and that's what contracts and forces water into the tube feet, which then extends. So there's essentially like little suction cups, and the ampulla are what's going to force the water in and out to make the suction cups move as the starfish are trying to move, which ultimately creates that vacuum. So it is used primarily in locomotion, and with the tube feet, if you've ever looked at starfish at maybe a touch pool, or you've picked one up or seen one while in the ocean, but there are also some additional functions. So the original purpose was thought to be for feeding, and these soft membranes allow for the gas exchange and diffusion of the nitrogenous waste across the body wall. So even though it's now currently used in locomotion, the original purpose was thought to be feeding. So they also have something called a hemosystem. Now this is what circulates the fluid in the body. So it's strands of tissue that encircle it near the ring canal in the middle, and they run into the radial canals. So it follows how the water vascular system moves. It is derived from the coelom, and it circulates fluid using cilia, which if you remember are little hairs that line the channels. The function of this system is largely unknown, but it may aid in the transport of things like large molecules, hormones, or coelomocytes, which help engulf and transport waste. So the next set of video notes we'll pick up here with class Asteroidea and all the other classes of starfish.